What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, this is where we talk about it right here. And right now, I want to give you guys my thoughts on Primal Season 1, Part 2. And gosh, I forget... It's always on the edge of my tongue. Who is responsible for this? Just gonna look it up real fast. I can never say it unless I'm reading it. Jendi Tartakovsky. Jenny Tartakovsky. It's called Jenny Tartakovsky's Primal. And so this is something that is on Adult Swim, for those who don't know. And it is about a prehistoric man who has developed a bond of friendship with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The man's name is Spear, the T-Rex's name is Fang, and they kind of go adventure to adventure, episode to episode, fighting a new bad guy. It's kind of a Monster of the Week type story, because every episode they're kind of fighting something different. And this season, well, Part 2 of Season 1, which is what I'm reviewing right now, is episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It really kind of followed that same formula, where they went from place to place, and each of the 5 episodes had Fang and Spear fighting a different villain. So at one point they were fighting a zombie Brachiosaurus who was able to transmit a disease. At another point they were fighting a venomized, what was essentially a venomized raptor of some sort. At another point, they were trying to fight a wolf of some sort, or a pack of wolves. Not wolves, hyenas. They were like a pack of hyenas. So, yeah, every episode has them fighting a different bad guy. And what is really engaging about this series, and what a lot of people really tune into it for, is its use of visuals, because there's no dialogue in it. There's no dialogue at all. This is strictly animation, story being told through animation, through movement, and through action, and there's sound, but there's no dialogue, and that's really engaging. That's really a neat way to tell a story, and I think that is one of the things I like most about it. Since they can't tell you, they have to show you. They have to show you the story, because there's no exposition. And for somebody visual like me, that's great. This is ultra violent, very bloody, with a lot of disturbing images, such as flesh melting off of the bone, and just some really disturbing stuff. This season had it even had like a witch's coven, who and that's one of the funny things about this series, is that it definitely plays with timelines, right? So you got an ape man. What is essentially a prehistoric man with a T-Rex, but there's also gorillas, and there's also hyenas, and there's also other forms of dinosaurs. There's a mosasaurus. There's an Egyptian empire, because in the last episode of the season we learned that there was essentially an Egyptian empire, a group of slaves being enslaved by what I'm pretty sure it's the Scorpion King. So there's a lot going on here. And it jumps around a lot, but what's nice about it is each episode is very contained. Yes, there is an overall arc, but each episode is very much contained in its own storyline. That being said, I liked Part 1 of this much better than Part 2. Part 2, it just felt like, Part 1, everybody that they fought, it was very kind of rooted in that world, with the exception of the 8 people. In this season, it was very fantastical. Very fantastical. You had a zombie virus. You had a witch's coven. You had the slave, the Egyptian slave. I mean, it was all very fantastical, or more modern than the time that they're actually in. So I liked the fact that the first season really kind of played with that dinosaur stuff, and this season tended to play more with, let's just tell stories and not really care about what time they're in, what timeline they're in, or what time in history they're in. But that being said, the storytelling is still top notch. The animation is still top notch. The idea of using, like I said, the idea of using animation and sound and nothing else to tell the story, it's very engaging, and it's hard to keep your eyes. It's hard to take your eyes off of it. But all that being said, hang on one second. There we go. All that being said, I did like I said, the first half better. This was a little bit of a step down. But if you're a dinosaur fan, and if you're just a fan of gore, and if you're a fan of unique storytelling, I definitely recommend that you check this out. This is season 1 and season 2. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and it's engaging. It's engaging. So I really liked it. Not quite as much as what came before, but I really liked it. Wondering what you think. Have you watched Primal season 1 season 1 part 1 and season 1 part 2? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your take on it. I'd like to hear what you think of it. And if you agree with me that it's really engaging and really interesting to watch them tell a story in a new way. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the OQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you later.